students in our today's online session. Our today's topic is the essay 7 Rules of Writing written by V.S. Naipual. This essay is prescribed in paper second of prose and fiction of English literature, paper second of BA part first in MGSU Bikaner. So our today's topic is 7 Rules of Writing. So this essay is actually written by Indian and eminent essayist and novelist V.S. Naipual. So let's have a brief background information of our today's author, who is V.S. Naipual. He was an eminent essayist as well as novelist, and who was born in Trinidad in 1932. Basically, he is an Indian descent writer. His ancestors were Indians who immigrated to Trinidad as indentured servants. He moved to London in 1954 and married Patricia Ann Haley in 1955. After initial failures as a writer and having undergone phases of depression, Naipual finally emerged as a successful writer with the publication of The Mystic Measure in 1955. His essays cover a varied range of themes such as slavery, revolution, guerrillas, corrupt politicians, poor and oppressed people, and other issues deeply rooted in the society. His style is very lucid and precise, and his language is beautiful. He was knighted in 1989 and received the Nobel Prize in Literature in 2001 for his novel Half Alive. His important works include An Area of Darkness, India, A Wounded Civilization, A House for Mr. Vishwas, and A Bend in the River. So these are some of his famous literary works. And if we talk about the essay 7 Rules of Writing, in this essay Naipual actually suggests 7 ways to aspiring writers to write correctly. Metaphorically comparing writing with an experiment, Naipual advises writers only to break rules after gaining confidence. So according to him, readers' satisfaction should be the primary aim of a writer. While enlisting the 7 rules, he recommends not to write lengthy sentences but maintain connectivity and clarity. He suggests avoiding the use of bombastic words and too many adjectives and adverbs. He advises aspiring writers to prefer concrete details and above all practice writing regularly for 6 months while adhering to these rules. So, in this essay, Naipual recommends some of the writing tips for the new aspiring writers or for the beginners, and he suggests some typical rules that what should follow and what should not follow. So these are some of his tips which he has given in this essay. Let's start the text of this essay. Now here I am reading for you. One of the first things I tell my students is that it helps to follow a formula when you are starting out as a writer. So from the very beginning, he is telling that he always suggests his students that what kind of formula can help them while starting as a writer, or for the beginners who has adopted writing as their career. So in this essay he is recommending some of the writing tips. In the beginning he says that one should follow a certain kind of formula to express himself as a writer. For example, while aspiring journalists try their hand at writing a news report, they should keep in mind the inverted pyramid structure and divide their story structure into introduction, explanation, corroboration, and qualification. So, he is saying that as a writer, one should develop his own style and ways of expression, and for this, the beginner should follow some kind of rules. For example, he is saying that an aspiring journalist should make practice of writing, first of all, about a news report. He should keep in mind the pyramid structure of his article and divide it in four parts. And what are the four parts he is talking about? First is the introduction, second is explanation, third is the corroboration, and qualification. Fourth is the qualification. So he must be well aware of these parts of an essay or a news article. Then he proceeds ahead. He says, I also tell my students that there are a million ways to say the same thing. So once they become confident about their writing, they should experiment and break the rules if necessary. So further he is saying that there are many ways to express something or any kind of idea. There are so many ways for expressing certain ideas, certain topics. Therefore, once a new writer becomes confident of his writing, he should experiment and break the rules. That only the person he is suggesting his students that though there are many ways, million ways of saying one thing in different ways, saying the same thing in different ways, in million ways, but after attaining the mastery or full confident about their writing, they should experiment and they can even break the rules if it is required. The only thing that matters, I try to impress upon them, is the reader. So he is saying that the only thing that is need to be taken in consideration, need to be focused or to be more need to keep in mind that is the focus on the reader. He is saying that one should try to impress the reader, that whatever he is going to write, that should be impressive to the readers, or that should impress the readers, that leads a kind of appealing. As long as the reader is hooked, it does not matter what formula has been used. So further he is suggesting that the sole aim should be to impress the readers. The reader is the most important thing, and the writer must be attached to the reader must be attached to the writing of the writer. So it does not matter which rules he has been followed while writing something. The thing is, most important thing is that the reader should be impressed. Now further he is suggesting some rules, and he has given a list of 7 rules of writing, which we will read, we will discuss in our further session. So this is enough for today. Thank you.